Hello my fellow smug ones, I hope you're all okay. Well, I know they keep chopping and changing their mind about this. In fact, probably more often than Katie Price declares herself bankrupt. Because first of all, they were going to decriminalise the licence, then they weren't. But now apparently the TV licence decriminalisation is under active consideration. So, let's begin. Okay, this story is from BBC News themselves. So I've got a feeling it's going to be ever so slightly teeny weeny, a little bit biased because obviously everyone knows the BBC want us to keep paying the TV licence. So I've got to get my head in the same sort of space as their TV news presenters. So how can I do that? I know. There we go, that's a bit more like it. Anyway, it says licence fee Oh, sorry, I really couldn't stand it. Says licence fee decriminalisation under active consideration. Decriminalising non-payment of the TV licence fee will remain under active consideration, the government has said, which I think personally is a really good thing. I know there are a few people out there who are a little bit worried that this may lead to the bailiffs coming in. But this is, in my opinion, the first step to scrapping the licence fee entirely or possibly changing it to cover just the BBC themselves. Culture Secretary Oliver Dowden said the criminal sanction was increasingly unfair and disproportionate, which he is right, especially with the amount of streaming services about nowadays. I mean, why should a lot of us keep paying the BBC when we don't even watch their channels? However, he also noted alternative system could result in significantly higher fees for licence fee evaders. I see, that's why the BBC wants to cover this, because they want their scare tactics. The new Project Fear. A BBC spokesman said the current system remains the fairest and most effective. For them, maybe. For the rest of us, I don't think it is. Mr. Dowden's comments came as the government published the findings of a public consultation of the issue of decriminalisation. A public consultation launched by the government in February 2020, which is nearly a year ago now, and obviously with quite a lot of repeats during the pandemic, I'm guessing a lot more people want rid of the licence fee. Anyway, it asked whether non-payment of the licence fee should continue to be a criminal offence. It explored whether the current system could be replaced by a civil enforcement scheme. The consultation, which lasted 8 weeks, received 154,737 responses from members of the public, campaigns, organisations and other stakeholders. Currently, anyone who watches or records live TV or uses iPlayer without a TV licence is guilty of a criminal offence and could go to prison. However, at the end of the day, they can only prosecute you if they can gain entry into your house and show that you are actually breaking the law. And they can only do that if you open the door to them. I'm not suggesting you do anything illegal and continue to watch live TV we're not paying for. The government has committed to maintaining the current licence fee funding model until 2027, when the current charter period ends. And this charter, this royal charter, gets renewed once every 10 years. So the last time it was renewed, Theresa May was obviously in power. But since then, there has been a lot of new streaming services and a few new channels launched. And there's been a lot more campaigns such as defund the BBC. Public opinion has since gone down even more against the BBC since then. The government said it remains concerned that a criminal sanction for TV licence evasion is increasingly disproportionate and unfair in a modern public service broadcasting system, which I think is true. How can they expect us to pay the BBC if a lot of us don't watch the BBC? Imagine if we had to pay Netflix to watch Amazon Prime live. It's ridiculous, so I cannot see why in this day and age we have to continue to pay the BBC to watch other channels live. Instead, respondents highlighted the considerable stress and anxiety the criminal sanction can cause individuals, particularly vulnerable people. And the BBC themselves are quite guilty of this feeling quite a lot, in my opinion, because they continue to send people out scary letters, or which a lot of people think is quite scary, or either seem to try to worry or panic people into buying something like they may not need. However, the government also said it recognised there could be damaging consequences for the public if the current system was abandoned. And that's that Project Fear again, the BBC TV licence Project Fear. Mr. Dowdens acknowledged there was the potential for significantly higher fines and costs for individuals who evade the licence fee requirement under a civil regime. However, there's also the potential they may put the current fines up a bit even if things don't change. The consultation also highlighted significant impacts in terms of both the cost and implementation of a new system, particularly as invasion is currently handled very efficiently in the Magistrates' Court. However, the TV licence inspector's legal powers aren't changing, and at the moment they've got as much legal power of entry into your house as a pizza delivery driver. You see, the only way they can get into your house is if they get a court warrant signed by a judge, and they only can get that court warrant if they have evidence that you are watching live TV or BBC iPlayer. Responding to Thursday's publication of the government findings, a BBC spokesman said the current system remains the fairest and most effective. The responses to the government's consultation shows the majority back the current system, and the BBC will fully engage with the government going forward on how we continue to play an important role for the public. Well, there's a few things wrong with that, isn't there? On quite a lot of the polls I've seen recently, the public do not want the TV licence. However, obviously the BBC and quite a majority of the government do. So I'm guessing that's the majority they're talking about, the government and the BBC, rather than the public. And the only way they can, in my opinion, that the BBC can play an important role for the public is if they start being impartial. And the BBC, in my opinion, has quite a problem with this. The government says it's remained determined that any change to the TV licence enforcement scheme should not be seen as an invitation to evade the TV licence requirement, nor should it privilege the rule-breaking minority over the rule-abiding minority. And yes, people should respect the law and go by the law. The issue of decriminalisation will remain under active consideration whilst more work is undertaken to understand the impact in alternative enforcement schemes, it added. I wonder how long that's going to take. If decriminalisation of the TV licence fee were to go through, it would have a considerable impact on the BBC funding. And that, I think, is because they know that the majority of the public do not want to pay for an outdated, old-fashioned TV licence in the 21st century. However, they'll still be able to get a lot of funding if they implemented commercials or through selling their programmes to other countries, which they currently do under BBC Studios. Mr Dowden added the government would take forward their findings of its consultation into the next licence fee settlement, which would set the level of the licence fee for a period of at least 5 years from 2022. And I'm guessing with public opinion only going one way, and loads of people are cancelling every day, the licence fee, unfortunately, will probably go up, if anything. Negotiations formally begun for the next licence fee settlement recently, Mr Dowden confirmed. Anyway, what do you think about all this? Do you think the licence fee should be decriminalised? I do. I think it'll be the first step into scrapping it completely. What do you think about this? You can let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, you can let me know by giving the video a like. Subscribe to stay updated and share this video far and wide to get the message out there, and I'll see you in the next one.